Okay, so this is save searches. One smart plan that I'm primarily going to be covering with you guys today is just the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. I've pretty much gone over that with majority of newer agents, or if you've met with Fred, he's touched upon the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. But what that does is it sends out an automated email once or twice a month, depending on if you send the monthly or the biweekly neighborhood nurture, with properties for sale within a contact's neighborhood. You are also able to track their activity, and you are able to see all of the properties that they have been checking out. So that is one smart plan that I'd like to go over. Another thing is what's called a saved search within command. It's very similar to the GSMLS feature, where it sends out automated emails for properties that fit your client's criteria. Again, you determine the email frequency there. So if you wanted to send it out daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, you would just select when that would be sent, and then all homes are sent that would match whatever the client is specifically looking for. And the last thing that I'll go over is how to create your own custom smart plan. So I know a couple of you guys have been asking, well, what if I wanted to send out smart plans around holidays? Or what if I wanted to send out a smart plan that I was a newer agent and I wanted to introduce myself? So I'll go over how you can then create your own smart plans. But does, before we get into anything, have any questions? Okay. Take the last. Oh. Hi, Dee. Do you have a question? Okay. So I will get started. So the first thing that I said I wanted to cover was the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. So two things that need to be assigned or connected with a contact if you ever wanted to send out the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. So number one is a valid email address, and then number two, you have to have either a primary address to a contact or a neighborhood with it. So with that being said, the first thing I'll do is just database or my contacts applet. And I will go ahead and add a contact. So I'll put the contact's first name in. I'll put a primary email address. So I could do KW112. Watch this be taken somewhere in my database. And then, like I said, you need a primary address or a neighborhood with it. So we have the full name, the email address, and then the next thing that we want to do is actually a neighborhood to the contact. So all I'll do is just click information down here. And then I'll click additional contact info once again. So if you keep scrolling, it's just going to ask if they have a preferred method of contact, any other forms of communication that you could reach them at, or right where you get to addresses where it says prime. This is pulling from Google, so as long as you search the location or you type in that address, it should show up. So if I wanted to do the office as an example, 1700 Route 23 comes up, Wayne, New Jersey. Just double check town and the state are correct, just because if you're doing something for someone that lives on Main Street or Central Ave or some very generic name, you want to make sure that it's sending out properties specific to that town, because you don't want to be sending something for Franklin Lakes when it meant to be sent to Livingston or Wyckoff. Yeah, similar. So I'll go ahead, I'll select the address, and then I'll click create. Okay. So another thing that I've also noticed is with newer agents, all of the smart plans that Keller Williams has created. So all 10 of the smart plans are already dropped into your account or your profile. Whereas with other agents, if you've never utilized the SmartPlans applet or if you've never played around with it, you may not have these smart plans already downloaded to your database. So what I'll do is I'll just take us the way that, like, if it's already within your system, go ahead and download it. So from contacts, we're just going to move 2 applets down, tasks, and then smart plans. And we'll click the smart plans applet. And the first thing that it brings us to is a page where it says My Smart Plans. So this is where you can go ahead and see all the smart plans that you have gone ahead and downloaded from the library. I kind of like to refer to it almost like your phone with apps. Like the library is like the app store, and then the smart plans are all the apps that you have to access on your phone. So if you don't have the My Monthly or the Biweekly Neighborhood Nurture under where it says My Smart Plans, to download it from the library. So we're under the My Smart Plan. Again, just go to the right where it says library. And then if you just scroll down just a little bit, it says Keller Williams and then 10. So the biweekly or the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plans, they're the same thing. They just send out at different frequencies. So it's an email that to whoever you want it to be sent up for. So either clients, leads, recruits, people in your sphere with real-time market data specific to their neighborhoods. So that's why we need an email address and a neighborhood or a primary address for a contact, because if you don't have one, then the smart plan has nothing to send. So again, if you don't have monthly or the biweekly neighborhood nurture downloaded to your database, just click Add Smart Plan down below. It's going to ask if you want to rename it. So there's really no need. So all you would need to do is just click that blue download button. But since it's a smart plan that's already been downloaded to my database or my smart plans, I can't re-download it. So from the library, we'll just go back to where it says My Smart Plans. And if you wanted to put people up on it through either the Smart Plans applet, that's one way. We'll also go to contacts to show you how you could set it up that way. But downloaded the Smart Plans applet and you already have a contact with a neighborhood and an email address, all you would need to do is find the Smart Plan, and then under where it says Actions, click the first little symbol where it says Add Contact. And now from here, it's going to show you everyone in your database if they do or don't have a neighborhood attached to them. So obviously 1 means there's already been a neighborhood there. 0 means that there are 0 neighborhoods attached, so you can't send it out. That's why it's in red and it's bold. So if you are ready to set someone up on a smart plan, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I'll click the little checkbox to the left. I'll click Add to Smart Plan. And then it's just going to ask, do you want to start the smart plan now, or do you want to schedule it to be sent out on a following date? Really no need in waiting, so just click the start now and then confirm. You don't need to Twilio for this actual smart plan, but I will touch on Twilio in regards to other smart plans. But again, it'll just go over the steps with you. So it just says it sends out an automated email. It waits 30 days, or again, if it's the biweekly, it waits 14 days, and then it sends it out again, that same email, just with updated market information. So if you're okay with that, you'll just click confirm. And it'll tell you that the contact has successfully been added to the smart plan. So this is one way to add people through the Smart Plans applet. Before I move on, does anyone have any questions?
Yes, that smart plan, that biweekly. What kind of information they actually delivering? Because I set myself on the plan, I never got anything. I don't know.
Okay.
That do they show only active listings, whatever is coming to the market, or they show whatever sold? What do they have in that plan?
It doesn't show sold, so it will show active, and then sometimes it'll show pending, but it won't show sold.
It doesn't.
Yeah. So it'll
basically it's only showing. New listings.
Yeah, like coming soon, actives. Yeah, but no has will show because at that point, like if people were interested in the property, it's already it's already off the table, so it would kind of just be like a little tease.
Yeah, but if we have,
The neighborhood nurture is more like, hey, look what we got, not look what we have.
it's like a search on the government press.
It's pulling.
But if we have our, let's say, sellers that already bought a house, why don't we have a plan that would give them information what's sold in the neighborhood and how it is done?
Well, for
Like the
sellers,
percentage-wise? No?
that's a development thing. But for the monthly and the biweekly, it's just saying like for sellers, what has recently sold in your neighborhood, it's not really giving a comp, but kind of more of a
In the market.
yes. And then for buyers, more so, what can I afford in specific neighborhoods? Because Wayne's huge. So if you look in one section of Wayne, it's not going to be the same
Right,
for
no,
the
I
other.
understand that.
Yeah.
But this is more for the buyers, that type
Mhm.
of, how do you call it? Plan
Mhm.
is more for the buyer. I've learned it myself.
Mhm.
If we want to attract the sellers, like past customers, they're more going to be looking for what's sold in the neighborhood, and
Mhm.
that's what's going to trigger them to sell their house too.
Right. Yeah, so this is one of the ones that have been created. If you ever wanted to see others, you can check the My Smart Plans lab. This is just one that, not that it's taken the place of a monthly newsletter, but similar to just, yeah. And I know that another question that some people have is, okay, well, I set them up on the monthly or the biweekly neighborhood nurture, but what's actually being sent out? So all I'll do is I'll just click my contact to show you guys what it looks like. So you'll see, as soon as the smart plan is set up, it says that it sends out that email. And then if you keep scrolling down, there is a copy link and a preview button over on the left-hand side of where they're populated. So if we click preview, tell me it's not going to work here.
Show if you on a bi-weekly, it would show all the properties that got in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Even though they are under contract.
If it's under, it goes away. Like pending, sometimes it'll be on there, sometimes it won't, but it's actives and coming soons.
So if something got listed today, you sending that letter, got listed tomorrow, went under contract by the end of the week, it's not gonna come on the search.
It might. Again, it's very, like, I've seen things where if it's under contract, it takes, because there's a lag sometimes. Like sometimes it'll be 24 to 48 hours, and then other times it'll be like it won't even show. But let me see from this end if I could then show what the smart plan looks like. I have to stop sharing my screen here. And then okay, so the person is then getting in their inbox is this. So you'll see all the neighborhoods that you set the person up on at the top. And then over on the right-hand side, you'll see all of the properties that have recently been listed in and around that neighborhood. So they're not just properties listed by our brokerage, they're properties listed by any brokerage. So whether it's Keller Williams Prosperity, Weichert, Remax, Coldwell Banker, doesn't matter. Anything from that MLS will then automatically feed over. And again, as you'll see here, there are duplicates. That's just showing that it's been listed on more than one MLS. If a person also wasn't interested in the neighborhood that you have them set up on, or if they weren't interested in any of the neighborhoods up at the top, they do have an option to their own neighborhood. So they want to move over closer to Pequannock. all they'll do is just click draw a circle around here. And now all the will show up on the right-hand side.
Will the other one automatically get
Added?
removed?
No, they won't automatically get removed.
So he's gonna get 2 areas.
Yeah, so you can have more than one. Yep. In addition to that, so if he found 21 Andrews Place and he was interested in this, or he, her, they, if the person then found the house, again, everything from the MLS puller, so the pictures, property remarks, property facts, it actually does show the broker, however, it doesn't give the listing agent charge. So it would say courtesy of Coldwell Banker, Kinnelon Butler, but it won't say who the agent is, so that if anyone had a question for this property, all they would do is just click ask me, and it drops them down to your lead form down here. So it has your contact information and the office's number in the case that they were interested in scheduling a showing. So we have the property remarks here. Similar to Google Maps, we have commute times. Click search for a place. They would type in, let's do 1700 Route 23. Again, very slow, but what comes similar to your phone, it gives biking distance, walking distance, driving distance, so that if this person was a commuter and they were interested in seeing how long it would take to get from there to work or back, it gives that time, except everything's very slow today, so by the time that loads, it'll probably be fine. It gives you the neighborhood. It gives nearby schools. So if they weren't interested in public schools, they also list, just in this case, it only gives the high school, but usually it would give the middle and the elementary school as well. And then the last thing is a mortgage payment or a mortgage calculator. So if they didn't pay 624, like they went over, or if they went under, you can see the numbers adjusting. And then they can also down with the percentages for the mortgage and the down payment. So it would break it down how much they would owe a month, how much it was due at closing. And another cool thing about playing around with the monthly nurture is that not only does it send automated homes for you, but once the contact has actually gone ahead and opened up any of the properties, you can go and see if they viewed specific neighborhoods or properties so that you're able to track their activity. So as you could see in previous examples that I've done here, it says that I viewed listing 2 Birchwood Lane. So as an agent, you go in, see what properties that they're viewing so that you could follow up with them. So that's the monthly neighborhood nurture. The biweekly is the same exact thing, just sent out at different frequencies. So again, every other week, where I sent out once a month. But any when it comes to people up on the monthly or biweekly neighborhood nurture smart plan?
Yes. So right now you had their home where they live, and you added that address to the neighborhood.
Yep.
What if you have a new contact and you only have their email address, and let's say they called about the house in Phantom Lakes? Then you have to go the other way and basically add the neighborhoods to him without his address.
You could put in an area around like where he's looking.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you were looking. Yeah, so you could. Yeah. So let's say you even met someone at an open house. You could put the open house as their primary address. And then if that house wasn't the one for them, any other area around that open house could then be sent to them.
I know at some point we were able to add them as zip codes, because yesterday I was playing with that and I could not figure out how you add the zip codes. I know there is a way to add them by zip codes.
So it may have been the saved search, which is actually something that I was gonna get into. So a saved search is very similar to the monthly neighborhood where it sends out the automated emails with
Okay.
properties. That you could either search by zip code, you could search by neighborhood, or you can actually custom draw on a map
Uh-huh.
where you want certain properties to be pulled from. So Donna was talking, we're referencing a saved search. So similar to where we are in command and the contacts card, as you can see, we're under the timeline tab. If we want to go all the way to the last one where it says save searches, in this case, if you've never played around with a save search or done something to a contact, it would say no save searches yet. So all you would need to do is click create save search. And then there's 3 ways that you can create a saved search. So number 1, you could search by neighborhood. Number 2, you could search by zip code. And then I'm currently in labs for custom, which I guess they rolled back. But what they're going to be doing is they're going to be releasing a feature where you could draw on a map a certain area where you want properties to be pulled from. Just because with the neighborhood nurture, some people have said like, this neighborhood isn't pulling over because it's very small, or this isn't recognized on the map, or what other issue that they're running into. So if you wanted to search by zip code, instead of where it says neighborhood, just click that drop down and do zip code, and then type in the zip code here.
So Christina, so that save search, you basically have to save basically as a smart plan pretty much.
You have to create the save search.
You have to create save search
Yeah.
and then add the contact to it.
Since you're already under the contact, you don't really have to add them. You're just creating a search.
For later.
Yeah.
Later. If you have a contact, you just add him to the save search.
Yeah.
If you have 10 towns saved, because
Mhm.
for me, I think the zip codes are more a better way to do it than if you have a town of Wayne, obviously different neighborhoods. But smaller town, like if I have someone for Elmwood Park, they would not buy in Garfield, but they would buy anywhere in Elmwood Park.
Right.
So for me, I have to set them up by zip code. So if I'm gonna have a safe search for Elmwood Park and then get 10 more buyers for Elmwood Park, I could just attach them, kind of like you attach them to a smart plan.
You would have to go into the contact and create the save search for them.
So every contact would need to have to create. So it's not going to be like save search, even though it's going to be saved on my tab.
Well, what it does is it's similar in the sense where it sends out properties automatically on your behalf. So like for the smart plan, it sends out that automated email with all properties within the area. And then the save search is very similar in the sense where it sends out that automated email with the properties criteria. So if someone was buying in Wayne and their price minimum was 500,000 to $1 million, someone in Wayne could also have a different budget. Like their budget could be 350,000 to 500,000.
We talk about the same budget, the same type of buyer. Can't you, as long as the safe search is already gonna be under your account, you just attach the buyer to it?
You would do it through each contact.
Yeah, but you attach.
But
you
don't
have to create another safe search for that.
You would create a save search individually for each individual contact. Yeah. What's your question?
I'm watching the dynamic.
Okay.
I have a question.
So as long as you type in the zip code, it just says results. There's only one result. And then again, property criteria. So if you knew at the time what the person was looking for, their price minimum with their price maximum, you would fill that in. Any keywords, property type. So everything's checked off here. So if they were interested in every type of property that they have available, you would leave it as all checked off. If you only knew that they were looking at houses, you would check off all of the other options that they have here.
I have a question, sorry.
Yep.
Does the comment pulls from all this? Which MLSs are they taking the data from?
It's all MLSs. So
New Jersey MLS.
Oh yeah, New Jersey's in here, Bergen, or not Bergen, because Bergen is New Jersey. Garden State, Central, Hudson, yeah, it would pull.
Everything is in here?
Yep.
The comment pulls from Central too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so KWLS is recognizing all of like the MLSs, it's just the location. So if I was doing this for Hoboken and something was put on Hudson County, it would recognize, okay, Hoboken, Hudson County, it's the same thing, so it would pull that information.
Oh, that's cool, because
Yeah.
when we were using Market Leader would not, like, I had a problem clicking Market Leader to New Jersey MLS.
Mm.
They would only take Garden State money.
Okay,
So this
and
is
that's
actually
why
cool.
with this, the monthly neighborhood, you'll see duplicates because it's recognizing where each
Oh.
property has been listed on each
I see.
MLS.
So that's actually cool.
Yeah. Same thing, listing status. So over here, if you wanted to send something to someone, active, pending, coming soon, you would leave all these as checking off. Again, if you didn't want to send something that was under contract, just check off pending, and then you would have something with active and coming soon being sent. What's the minimum for bedrooms that they're looking, bathrooms? Does it have parking? Did it recently have an open house? Was it reduced in the last 7 days? So if you have everything filled out there, you'll just click next. You'll search
Christina, I have a
title.
question.
So in this case, I'll just do 0747, save search. The primary email is the email for the contact. So
Christina?
if you ever needed to actually change the email there, you would just have to update the contact's email.
And is there an option how often that they save that, they send that?
Where it says send email notifications, the button is currently gray, but if we change it to green, this is where you determine the email frequency. So if you want this instantly sent, it sends within 30 minutes after hitting the market. Daily summary sends the client a summary of what they found in a day, a weekly summary, a bi-weekly summary, and a monthly summary. So again, you determine when it's being sent. And then the only other thing that I'll say is just keep in mind it says 9 a.m. Central Time, so that's 10 a.m. Eastern Time for us. But once you have all of that filled out, all you'll do is just click Create, Save, Search.
Christina, I have a question.
I'm sorry, what was that, Matt?
I have a question. So, sorry, for some reason my earbuds weren't working, so I was trying to catch you before you did what you just did. But do so right now I have Garden State MLS and New Jersey MLS sending me the homes directly, and then I filter them out before I send them to my buyers. Is there any way for me to do that here? Can I get the link before them? Can they get the, I don't know how to ask it, but
I think I know what you're trying to say. But essentially, like a set out, and I don't think at the moment that there's a feature that you could see what's being sent beforehand.
got it. So it just goes to their email direct.
Correct.
Got it. And can they be notified if via the app or not yet? Because I feel like sometimes it gets lost in the email.
You could set yourself up on the search before you set them up, just to see what would be coming. In this case, like it would just automatically send to the contact's email.
Got it. Okay.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I put the on create saved search, I put location 07936, which is Hanover Township, and it says no neighborhood found. Try another keyword. I tried a keyword, I tried a town, can you try to put the 07936? And what do I do if a system can't find a township or around the township?
Is this for? Oh, hold on. The smart plan or the save search?
Create saved search and smart plan I tried too, neither one works. Can you please try to put a 07936? Maybe it's my system only. Create saved search.
Yeah, Ala, it's right there.
It does show you the East Hanover.
Are you switching from neighborhood to zip?
You echoing, I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Are you switching from neighborhood to zip code?
For example, I went to the contact, right? And I chose the contact, like you said. Then I want to create that area, either add neighborhood or add create a search, saved search. And I can't find, like, either I add neighborhood, I can't put 07936. It's not finding it. It says Parsippany for some reason, or Pine Brook, something else. And but it doesn't find the area exactly what I need.
So is this a saved
And
search
then-
or is this a smart plan?
If both, it doesn't find East Hanover for me.
Okay,
Like
so
if I do, let's say I go to a saved search and create a saved search, right?
Mhm.
And I put a search by neighborhood and I put 07936. It says no neighborhood found, try another keyword.
so the reason that it's giving you an issue there is because with a neighborhood, you need to search by a name. Whereas if you click the drop down, you would want to choose zip code if you're doing 07936, because that's the town zip code.
Drop down, please enter. Let me see. Yeah, I was doing something. I didn't catch that what you were doing. Now I see it. Okay,
Yeah, search
now
by
I
neighborhood, you need the neighborhood's actual name, not the zip code. If you're searching by zip code, you have to change that.
okay, that's what I was I could get. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anyone else have any questions? Negative? Okay. So we went over the monthly and the biweekly neighborhood nurture. We did the save search. Another thing that you could do with SmartPlans is you can create your own. So if you ever wanted to do that, just go back to the SmartPlans applet over here. And all right, so like I was saying, my smart plans are all the smart plans that you've gone ahead and downloaded from the library. Another thing that you can do is create your own. So as you can see in the top right hand corner over here where it says create, you'll want to click that. It'll ask you what you want the plan name to be. So if you wanted something like
Golden letter.
golden letter.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I'll leave it as that. I'll click apply. And okay, as you can see over on the right hand side, there are action buttons. So as long as you selected action, this is what's then gonna create the smart plan. So let's say you wanted the first part of your smart plan to be an automated email. What you would do, what you would do is just click send email and there's a little blue plus button over here. And that's gonna be step one of your smart plan. So step one, reply to email. What's the email subject that you're gonna make it? Do you want a regular email being sent out or do you want something from the designs template in command? So from that point, if you select design, you would then create what your own custom email looks like. If you want just a simple email, you'll type your wording in here. You can change the font. You can make things bold, italicized, underlined. And something that I do want to mention is if you want this to be sent out to multiple contacts at one time, so let's say you wanted this automated email to be sent out to 50 plus contacts, you're not going to individually send out each email to say, hey, Joe, hey, Christina, hey, Donna. So something that makes it a lot easier is using what's called a merge field. So if you write, hello, leave it as is right now. These little, I don't know the word for them, buttons at the top, you'll want to look all the way to the last one where it's a little bracket with an F in the middle, and it says use merge fields to automate contact with associated subject. So if you click that drop down, it would say agent first name, agent last name, team name, contact, blah, 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 blah. If you do contact first name and select that, now the smart plan recognizes all 50 of the contacts that you want to send it out to, everyone's first name, so that you're not going through and typing an individual message for each of the contacts that you're setting this up on. So as long as you have merge fields here, it automatically then recognizes where each associated subject is supposed to be. And then again, you'll just go in, you'll write what you need to. The holidays are coming up, whatever it is. And then as long as everything's been completed here, you'll just click save. And as you can see, if something that's required hasn't been completed, it'll give you an error message before saving any of your work. Okay, so that's step one. Again, this could be a multi-step smart plan. So if you wanted it to be really complex, you would just look on the right-hand side with all of the action buttons and see if there's anything else that you want to set to the smart plan. So if you ever wanted to create a task, we can add that as a step. It gives you a due date. So if it was to be, make sure to call them a week from now, you'll set the due date for 7 days, and then you'll set the task name. So it says right here, call contact first name with the phone number. So the task name is just a way for you to make sure to complete the task. It's not actually touching the contact. It'll just send a reminder to your contacts, or not your contacts, it'll send a reminder to your command to make sure to call Joe before November 8th. Thank you for that. That isn't my strong suit. And I did mention something about Twilio. So if you ever wanted something like an automated text message to be sent out from command, there is a way to do that. However, it is a paid texting service. So if you ever wanted to subscribe to Twilio, all you would need to do is make sure to connect your account in the marketplace, and I will show how that's possible. But again, if you want Twilio to be a part of your smart plans and command, you'll just click send SMS and make sure that this is a task. Again, you'll get a little red notification over here saying Twilio account not connected. To send or receive messages, you need a Twilio subscription. So if you click learn more about Twilio or subscribe in the KW Marketplace, this will then bring you to the screen, which will just ask for payment. It'll give you a breakdown of how many text messages are being sent out per month, how much you would be paying per month, so that this automated number would then send out text messages to the contacts that you have set up on the smart plan. And again, you can create your own text, so that's another thing. You can add steps, you can remove steps. The last thing that I would like to mention is where it says add trigger event. So if this was a smart plan that I want all of my contacts being set up with a certain tag in my database moving forward. So let's say from here on out, I tag someone as Thanksgiving 2021. Any person, if you add a trigger event, any person then who is new in your database with that tag will automatically be set up on this smart plan. So it's just one less step for you to do with your contacts. So it'll just say trigger event, contact tag, select that tag. So if you again had that Thanksgiving 2021 as a tag in your database, everyone moving forward with that tag will automatically be set up on this smart plan. So if I've gone ahead, I've created my smart plan, the last thing I'll do is just click save at the top. Let me just get rid of this. And once everything has been completed, it would say all changes to your smart plan have been saved. And now, if you go back to your smart plans, you'll see that smart plan name over here. Contacts, anything with a dash means that 0 people have been set up on it. But again, if you are then ready to start adding people to your personal smart plan, similar to what we covered before, just go to actions, click add contact, and then you can either select all people in your database. You can select people with tags so that you're only sending it to certain people that are marked. Or you can look up people individually so that you're specifically adding people to the plan. But from that point, as long as you click add to smart plan, everyone who you've selected to be added to the plan will be added. Any questions on creating your own custom smart plans?
No. Can you load something to the library? Something separate from whatever they have?
Once you create your own smart plan, it's like published to the library, so then other people in Keller Williams can then
Use it.
use it as their own.
Ooh,
And you could do that for other people too,
because I paid for that,
right?
for the blog. Access to that.
Because if you create something, like if you go to library over here, you could search the library by pretty much anything. So you could search by author, description, smart plan name. And what you could do is the same thing where you could take their customized smart plan and then edit it to be your own. So like if someone else did a golden letter, which I'll see if that's in there.
Maybe they have in that. It's a very popular subject these days.
Yeah, so you can see there's 21 results for the same thing, golden letter. 137 agents using.
To see what's that,
Yeah, and another thing is if you guys ever wanted to see what the smart plan is trying to do or what the steps are, all you would do is just click view steps at the bottom of where the smart plan is. And if you hover over it, it gives the email script for what would be sent out. So this is the golden letter. This is someone who published it wherever in the country who works for whatever type of Keller Williams. But they've created this smart plan. And again, you can then edit it to be your own. So you would just go back and take out, if this was made by a Mike, you would take out his name and put your own.
And where would you do that? In designs?
Yeah, no. So if I wanted to edit this smart plan and make it my own, I'll just click add smart plan. Again, it's just gonna ask if you want to rename the smart plan. So I'll click download. And then Donna's question was, how would you then edit someone else's smart plan if they created it? So what you would want to do is download it. After you've downloaded it, you would go back to where it says My Smart Plans. And to make it more personal to you, what you would just do is under where it says Actions over on the right-hand side, you would click the pencil icon. And that way you can then edit it. So you can leave the one step as a part of this smart plan. You can build on the smart plan. But as you can see here, they have the merge field. You would just make sure, so where it says Hope and Mike Derek, you would just go in and change it to Donna and the Tishka team and then everything else. Yep, so this is just a way in which if there's something already out there, you can just edit it to yourself. So you don't really need like to have all your creative juices flowing if it was already built. So then you would just click save to update it and then make sure that it's personalized to you. Alla, I see that you unmiked or unmuted yourself. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. How can I see who is in my smart plan?
Yeah, so anyone who you have attached to a smart plan, this is actually a great question. So if we are in the Smart Plans applet, which we are right now, anytime that you see the smart plan name with contacts next to it, the dash means that 0 people have been set up on the smart plan. And then if you see a number with an eye icon, that means that 5 people are on the smart plan, and to see who of the 5 people are put on the smart plan, you would just click the I. And now over on the right-hand side, it shows you all of the contacts that you have then added to the smart plan.
Okay, got it.
And you can check each person. So if you didn't want someone to be on a smart plan anymore, you can just unsubscribe them by checking the box to the left of their name and then clicking confirm unsubscribe. Or if you just wanted to see who was on the smart plan, you would just click the I and see all 5 names.
Now, if somebody gets your smart plan
Mhm.
and they don't want to receive it anymore, there's a way for them to unsubscribe.
Yeah, so if you keep sending something out, and the person doesn't want to see it anymore, there is a way at the bottom, similar to any email that you get from any
Unsubscribe.
company, they would just click unsubscribe. And over on the right-hand side of that timeline card where we were able to track their activity, it would say that the contact has unsubscribed. If you then kept putting them up on a smart plan after they've unsubscribed, their email could technically be blacklisted, so that emails going forward just then wouldn't be sent out from your command. So just better not harass them so that you don't get blacklisted. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. One last thing that I do want to mention, as I do every time that I close out a class or I meet with you guys, if you go to kw1120.com, again, we use this as an office resource. So if you had follow-up questions on SmartPlans, what I would advise is if you go to page 3 and there is a little circle at the bottom of the left-hand screen with 2 arrows, one pointing to the left, one pointing to the right. If you guys don't see this on your own screen, just click anywhere on the main screen and it'll jump you to.
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, no,
How
it's
did you get this? To this page?
kw1120.com.
Hasn't rolled it. I think my son.
Yeah, I think he did. But you want to go to page 3. So this is page 2. We'll go one more. And then under where it says tech support resources, you can always click agent resource FAQ.
And that goes to you.
And this goes to a spreadsheet. So it has a topic, a subtopic, a question, and an answer. So if you guys ever left this class and were like, I have no idea what the heck she was talking about, the smart plans and safe searches, I'm so confused. Just look over here. So search for the topic, which would automatically be command. Look for the subtopic. So that's pretty much like what applet that you're searching for. So that would be the SmartPlans applet. So we're scrolling, command, SmartPlans, adding contacts to a smart plan, the neighborhood smart plan. What other smart plans do they have? How do you edit a smart plan? How do you build a custom one? So we found the question, and then the resource brings you to either a YouTube video, a Loom video, or an article by KW that further explains in better detail how to do what we've done today in the past 55 minutes. So I kind of just like to plug this in the case that if this wasn't clear enough, there's something else that if someone does a better job at explaining it. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for me.
Thank you, Christina.
If you had any follow-up questions, shoot me an email or hunt me down. Either way, you know where to find me.